I'm Josh from Rock Music, and you're watching 100 Miles from Home.
I don't remember your name, but this feeling got me thinking you used to be good in the day. We far back where we good people inside. We should chill, that was drink, no one else, so it's good. If it's different, then we should be good. If it's different, then we should be good.
Your introduction. That was a good
Thank
one.
you.
Local rocker here.
Rock music.
To my right. I like the. We did a couple takes. You said initially you were Josh from Mother Moon.
I'm Josh from Mother Moon.
Josh
On a
from
new
Mother
album that
Moon
we're
right
debuting.
You were a merch guy, right there.
No, I wouldn't sell merch.
Yeah,
I hate selling merch.
But we're here with the rocker, Mr. Josh from such acts as Birthright and Sideshow Cinema. Correct. As you can hear,
I have
my
cats
cat
too,
maybe
I
a
get
little
it.
bit in the back. Did you hear that?
Yeah, when our cat carries a toy, it meows the whole time, and I don't know why, but it drops it off like gifts throughout the house.
She's like in her heat season, and we can't get her spayed when she's in it, so we just let it ride.
I feel
When
that.
she's out, we'll get it spayed. Due to COVID, we couldn't. But hey, maybe that's a good segue, right? The whole.
There you go.
I feel like everybody, it's been like a little doomsaying talking about COVID.
Recommend local vets below.
But I feel like we have to get into it. How's COVID been for rockers such as yourself? Obviously, that puts it all on hold. And I know now, and we can get into that, that's been kind of coming out. But you guys did a lot of cool thing in both bands, like over the COVID. How was that?
For both, it was easier because I had a lot of stuff done with both.
Yeah.
Even before, so it was more of just Birthright was ready to release an EP in like 2 weeks before that COVID hit. So now I have to we didn't do a 7-inch because I didn't have the nerve to ask people for money for something, and like while we're in a pandemic.
Right.
So you just kind of release it at that time, and I'm staying pretty busy with Birthright.
And then Sideshow just released right at the end of last month a little EP.
Yeah, we actually released 2 EPs during COVID, and same I recorded 2 of the songs during that period, and I had to wait like 3 months because at that point the pandemic.
Sure.
Yeah, even that.
And then you had a music video for one of the tracks, right, by a good friend of ours.
Of course.
For
Colin.
Test Stream, is that the name
Test
of the
Stream.
track?
Yes, it is.
That was cool, and you guys did that soundstage?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was cool.
So Birthright did a live concert at Soundstage during COVID, but it was in August, and the AC was broken. And we had to run our set twice in like 90-degree weather, and that was like the worst. It was pretty hot for the Test Stream video, which was also at Soundstage, but Colin had to do like 22 takes, maybe something a lot, and we had to, I changed shirts in between. And,
right, but was the AC working that time? Or
the AC was working, but still filming a music video is like silly to begin with.
Sure.
But
yeah. And then you guys recently had a show, right? It was like your first time playing out since the COVID's come out, right? And you guys
for Sideshow, Birthright.
Sideshow, yeah.
Birthright did a limited capacity one in December, but it was still like squared off and boxed out. 70 people at a 1,000-cap venue, so it was fun to play, but didn't have that same the Sideshow one was nice to get back to people.
And then all the funds, right, you were telling me, went to a local
charity that disperses to other ones, which I think is nice too. It's even whenever we've donated, I've asked someone who is more knowledgeable than me, what do you recommend?
Right.
And that one and this one, gives to a few different areas. I'm glad it's not just like one batch to a big one, and to a local in the Baltimore area.
Right, that's cool. For me, the one thing that I wanted to know, and I know this isn't like a recent thing, but tell me what it was like, because I always know you as being in Birthright. How did the Sideshow thing come to be, and kind of what's the dynamic? I've done at a point for a brief amount of time, I did like the 2-band thing, and what's that been like for you?
So being in a band doesn't take up that much time, depending on the style. And even I'm surrounded with a bunch of talented musicians, but we've played with Sideshow a few times, and they've made a few genre switches and member switches. And they hit me up and they were like, hey, can you fill in tonight at the Pinch in DC? And I was like, sure. And my brother and girlfriend came, and I had to free ball like a 35-minute set without knowing it at all. And it was like weird. It's in a hot room. I was like, there was a point you think, I was like, what am I doing here? I was like, why am I in this hot Mexican restaurant basement yelling? But after that, they already knew the guys, and they had music ready to go without vocals, and I was like, he sent it to me, and I was like, definitely.
Yeah, the one thing for me that's been interesting is like, And in Birthright, you always kind of did like the I don't know how to describe it, like the kind of like sing yell kind of thing, or just like the straight yell. Where it seems like on the Sideshow, like I didn't know like that you had that like in you, like because I'm used to you playing like more kind of post-hardcore ambient music. So now with the heavier stuff, it's cool. Like I didn't expect it.
My recording process actually isn't much different at all.
Yeah.
And like that single layer tracking and like not much, and it's still the same. It's just me yelling both ways. And people are like, oh, like that yelling thing. I'm like, it is just me yelling, and even from one to the other, and. We were in a band when we were teenagers where I used to yell low, so it's not like I was like, oh, that. I went from yelling low to yelling because I'm like, this, like, but even that, knowing my sound, like, it doesn't hurt to scream or yell, really, like, you know,
it was just interesting because I feel like I've only heard you in that capacity, and obviously there is a lot of like crossover and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, okay, damn, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And now Joe's in it too, right? Your brother.
Definitely, we have Joe.
I have some Joe questions coming up later, but we'll get into it.
It's funny. There's a joke. Our bass player like didn't contact us in like a year or so. And like I wanted Joe because I like Joe a lot.
Right.
And but there's a joke that Joe's like Spider from School of Rock. So shout out Joe. He's not gonna watch this. Well, if you do watch this, he'll be like, man.
I need to get Joe in the Spider shirt.
I'm just staring at myself.
Has the sleeves.
Are you hearing me, Joe?
And then speaking of Joe, you guys, speaking of podcasts too, you guys are guest hosting, right? Like
our friend has to get back surgery, or had back surgery, you know. But we were doing a few for him just because it's easier to meet up with guests, and he's doing the editing for us.
Yeah.
And we did one I've done one with him before, but Joe and I did one, and he made fun of like expensive shoes. But you wouldn't be having back surgery if you had Yeezys, Chris.
Right. Yeah, there you go. What's like the subject matter like in the podcast? I guess like before you guys guess like just the like overall general.
I think it's really about the guest you have or the person.
It just kind of changes.
It varies. Him having us makes sense because we playing music and such. But our first episode was with Colin, who did our video, and Ian with Meridian, and so just talking to two local photo and videographers. We have a few coming up, and one's with our friend who's a published author. Another is with this band Nightlife. Shout out Nightlife. And my girlfriend actually, who works in the music industry. Nice. Because being a woman, in the world is hard.
Right.
But the music industry, yeah. That's why we're here. We're talking about them.
Where can we'll do a little crossover. Where can you find the podcast? Where's like the easiest way?
Everywhere.
Is it just
Spotify?
Is it audio only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that little jab video podcast versus audio podcast forever.
Over here, 100 miles from home.
You heard that audio podcast?
Multimedia, podcasts and stuff.
You're a multimedia company. That's just a podcast.
Yeah.
You don't want to see the video because it's like 2 hours long, and it's just like people in a basement talking. Now that we're in charge,
right?
Like we watched the All-Star Home Run Derby during one, and then another one I can't remember, but we watched like Man versus Food, and we just like talking shit about TNT and like the Food Channel.
When I saw Colin the other day, that's what he said. He said you guys were like doing the podcast, and they'd be like, "Oh, because like somebody hit like a bomb or something like that."
Give him 100% of it, he'll take 70.
Right. So we covered a lot with Sideshow. What's going on with Birthright? Like I know you said that over the pandemic you guys did the live stream thing, and that you had an EP, right? You said
released.
Prepared.
I was like, what do we do with an EP? COVID's only going to last a month, and then Alkaline Trio actually put out an EP, and they were like, I hope like music makes these times less crappy, and I was like, I like that a lot. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so we released. I had a plan with like a pre-order and like vinyl, but we couldn't but at that time now, and I wasn't, so that's why I just decided to release it. And so we haven't really gotten a chance to support it, but even that, working on new stuff, those guys are insane, and I can't talk about it, but
soon TM.
I'm gonna acknowledge that I look at myself.
And you guys are gonna have like the first, you had like you said the low cap in December, but like kind of getting back at it in September, right?
September 2nd, and that should be good. And that's with
the flyer for that, which is like the back.
I just know people that bring all my dumb ideas to life, and like Kyle's out of town, who's my everything, my graphic design robot, and I messaged someone when I was like, who does graphic design, gave me a name, I messaged this guy, I was like, hey, I need a Bat Boy flyer by tomorrow morning. And then I just wake up to a Bat Boy flyer, like, it's easy being me.
Right.
But
you guys, you said that you have new stuff coming up, hopefully in the near future, or
when we want to. I have plans for the near future, but there's the long term.
Happens, right? Got to convince Rich, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Boy.
And then you guys usually go up and record in Massachusetts, right?
We usually do with the sideshow stuff. Joe and I are from up there, so we went to like visit people anyway. But we did some of the tracking here, and then we went up there and finished it. I think we might lean towards that style recording just for like the near future is like get some tracking done here. I'd probably go up there to finish it, but as much as we're going to work on it, that
right, and especially I guess too like having to balance everybody's schedules and have everybody go to a different...
We do be like 30 though. I'm only 28. I'm in my prime.
Right, yeah. We're still
still
young kings.
28, 20 great.
20 great. That's what I like to hear. And then earlier we were talking about a little bit of wrestling too.
I do like wrestling.
We're going to get into that in a little bit as well, as well as my Joe questions, like I said. But
no, I can't wait. I want to find out what you want to know about Joe.
It's more just one question, and it's a question about him that I've been wondering for ages.
Oh, let's go. I can't wait. And Joe, if you're watching, stay tuned.
It's going to kind of be like...
I'm talking to Joe at this point.
It's going to be like the lore behind Joe, essentially, is what it's kind of catered towards. So I don't know if you can reveal too many secrets
for our exclusive interview about Joe.
Right. This is just more of a vessel to get information on Joe because I was too nervous to have him on. You know what I mean?
Why?
No, I'm just
can't afford him. But
well, that too. He sent me the fee, and maybe in a couple years we'll get there or something like that.
I've asked Joe to sign 8x10s at a show because I think I can sell them for like $5. And
that's what I was gonna say. I remember you guys posting that on Facebook.
He hates all my Joe marketing, by the way. He's like, "Why wasn't me?" I'm like, "Cause you sell sex sells." Like,
it's good. Like that's what I always say. Like that's I feel like you are like the master promoter. Like the one thing that we always said was like when we like were on tour with you and Brendan was like, we need to start doing this. Is because I know, but like every time in your set, like you said that you were Birthright like probably 5 times.
Yeah.
But like I think that's like a good thing because like so many times I've played a show.
I did it on purpose. I think that was like my joke that weekend probably. But
like every song you'd be like, "We're still Birthright, by the way."
Oh yeah,
then,
okay, yeah. Definitely. It's like beating in the
but like so many times I've played shows and people are like, "What was your band's name?" And I'm like, "Fuck, we need to do the Birthright thing where we just say it a million times so people know."
Yeah, I think one time we were in a room and there was like 10 people, and I was like, if you don't know where you are, then we're not telling you, and didn't say it.
What was the thing that we did the one time when we played in Rochester? We had like a competition. We had to say, whoever was doing vocals had to like say something. You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what it was.
I don't know if all of you guys stayed behind. So after the show, you guys all went back to that apartment, and I was
went to the place,
Ryan and Rich. I can't remember who was with us, but 3 of us just like went wild in like 10-degree weather and like stumbled back at like 2 o'clock like, ladies.
I remember what it was. It was you and Brendan were competing who could say daddy in that thing. Yeah. And you definitely beat Brendan, but he let out one long one in the middle of our set.
Do you remember that there was one day, it was probably 3 years ago, when you like posted a picture of Brendan and you were like, "I'm gonna miss you, dear friend," or like a really long thing, and I was like, "Fuck, man, he died." I was like, "He's dead." That's the way he said it, and I called you. It was like we hadn't talked in a while. I was like, "Is he dead?" And you were like, "No, he's just moving." I was like, "Sounded like you killed him off, man." I'll be honest.
You literally called me urgently, and you were like, "Is everything good with Brendan?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're like, dude, he's just moving."
Au revoir, old friend. See you on the other side. This afterlife.
See you on the other side.
I know, but the way you said it, I was like, "This is really well written, or he's dead."
And the best part is you weren't the only one that thought that. I had another friend that texted me and was like, I
wouldn't be surprised.
Is everything good with Brendan? Yeah. I was just trying to be nice, but then I read it back after you said that, and it definitely sounded like he died.
Yeah, he only moved to Texas.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of
Isn't he back now?
He's back, but that's kind of like dying is moving to Texas. You know,
Texas forever. Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, on food,
clear eyes, full hearts
thing, but maybe it's not social.
Did you watch Friday Night Lights? I doubt it. You do hate sports.
Yeah, I want to be more into sports, but I can't be.
You should watch the NBA if any of them.
Well, my brother does keep me in loop with the NBA.
The NBA like treats players with respect. and like lets them smoke weed and like.
Right. See, I watch the best sport of all is professional wrestling.
I think that's more of a lifestyle then.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really watch it as much as you're just ingrained.
Fake wrestling's better than real wrestling, and I'll admit.
100%.
That's why Gable Stevens is signing with NXT.
It's better than UFC at this point, in my opinion. After
UFC's the worst. They pay like dirt money.
Yeah, they're bad, and like at least when I watch a WWE pay-per-view, it might be shitty, but at least know I'm getting like a 20-minute match or something like that.
I think UFC should do entrances like WWE does.
I totally agree. Bellator kind of does, and the kind of like entrances.
It's just like someone walking out with quiet music, like in an arena.
In like an arena, and it's like echoing. I want like pyro. I want like
like you can get like a small screen,
like outfits and stuff.
Just something like a little thing, like
nothing too crazy, but speaking of wrestling, we have some segments prepared. If you would like to hop into those,
let's do it.
Before we do that, we'll do it again at the end. If you wanted to plug any socials for yourself or the bands or anything like that, let the people know where they can find you.
Birthrights is trickier because it's Birthright MD for most things, but Sideshow Cinema is just Sideshow Cinema. Yes. So.
And then, do you want people to be able to find yours, or is that on the special for anyone?
No, Josh Seleski, JoshSeleski.
A lot of Joe content.
No, not really. Joe actually doesn't like any of my stuff online. It's funny. He's like, I don't know why.
What about brother?
I can't wait for this Joe question.
My brothers kind of do the same thing, so I understand.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out what you want to know.
Well, I won't make you wait any longer. If you're ready, we'll hop into it.
They have to keep watching. I want Joe to keep watching.
All right, we're just going to get 10 seconds of silence real quick, just to build the anticipation.
My neck cracked a little. That was cool.
I think that was 10 seconds around there, but if you're ready, we'll get into it. All right, we'll be right back. All right, after our brief intermission, we're back. I know that you are anticipating this question hard.
Are we back yet?
We are back.
Damn it, I was pretending to be asleep for a comeback. Whatever this is.
I think maybe you tricked him for a few
No,
seconds.
I did.
No. Well, our first segment that we have prepared here is one that we did a few weeks ago, and it went over not so great with our guests, but I think maybe the people at home enjoyed watching it. It's called Beanboozled.
Okay, it's better than I thought I was going to have to eat actual beans.
You're right. No, we don't have any Bush's baked beans or anything, but these, I don't know, have you ever played Beanboozled before?
I have not.
So the way that it works is we have a couple different jelly beans here in this container, and we have like this Wheel of Fortune style wheel, and they can either be good jelly beans or bad ones. It's like 50-50, so we could spin the thing. Let's say it lands on
what flavors are we dealing with?
Huh?
What flavors are we dealing with?
I'll give you a couple. So berry blue could either be berry or it could be toothpaste.
Oh shit!
Let's say like this white one, it could either be.
So the blue is a good one and a bad one.
It could be it could be one or the other. It's like a 50-50 kind of deal. It could either be
why do you bring me here?
Coconut or spoiled milk. And we have our trash can here to be prepared. I'm just gonna make you eat 3. And I have a question. I know I say only 3, but I have some questions that go along with them.
Let's do it.
My first question, I'll hop right into the main event question is, why is Joe such an enigma?
Because he's a Libra. If we're chalking it up to that.
What is Libra energy? I'm not super good with my signs.
Stubborn.
Yeah.
Doesn't listen to his brother.
Yeah.
Selfish. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. It seems like that he's revered by you guys. Like, it seems like he's like a. Maybe this is me reading it wrong. He's like a deity on some sorts. It seems
he's like such a jerk that like it makes it
makes it fun and
it makes you want him more because he's like doesn't want you.
He's like playing it hard to get a little bit.
But
okay,
easy.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. You
happy, Joe? No, I gotta eat this bean.
Right. You put him over. No, you gotta eat this bean. If you want, I'll do our first little spin
you can
here.
Spin.
It's like on the line.
Have you tried every bean on that board?
Have I tried every one? I have, yeah. So this one is either buttered popcorn or rotten egg.
Put it in my hand. I don't care.
You
guys happy, you animals?
We'll do it at the same time.
Okay. Let's do it.
We have a trash can off screen. I said this last time. That might seem a little dramatic, but I promise that it's not. You ready?
Right.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, touch views. Yeah.
What are the options?
Roasted popcorn or rotten egg?
Mine's rotten egg.
I think I got popcorn.
Jerk.
You got rotten egg?
I got rotten egg, I think. I mean,
No.
my candy, yes.
I even got the good one, but popcorn is not necessarily like
I would probably have to. I'm not trying it again, but I'd have to try the other to be like, that's
Yeah.
definitely egg.
Yeah, some of them are kind of weird because you get like the initial sugar taste.
Yeah.
And then it kind of slowly
I hope you get the Bane
comes
next.
out. Yeah. All right. The next question is, how many members of Birthright would it take to take down one Rich from Birthright?
One.
Just 1v1?
One, yeah. Rich is
Really?
soft. Yeah, definitely. If Rich was watching this podcast, he's like, man, let's go.
I thought maybe it would at least be a 2v1 situation.
Depends, clean or dirty. Clean, more than one. Dirty.
Gotcha. Because he's got them wrestling skills. But if you know.
He's like a pit bull, but if I can bite the top of your head or your ear, like it's different. It's different than.
Right, than your initial one-on-one.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I thought maybe it would be 2v1, but I can kind of see where that's coming from.
No, any of us.
Any of
All
us?
day, yeah.
Okay, you heard it here.
belly was
Do you
out. Oh,
do you wanna hit us with the spin this time?
Let's do it.
All right, can we? I don't want to do this one. This one's disgusting.
Yeah, they're all disgusting. Oh yeah, of course you don't want to.
That was either peach or barf. That's the one that we just did. Give us like the toothpaste one. That's the one we just did again. Fuck, dude, the spinner sucks.
Can we eat a blue one each? 'Cause they
You
look
want to
kinda
do a blue?
We'll do a blue
We'll
each.
do a blue. There's a lot of blues in here. Cheers. It's either toothpaste or berry blue. I got the berry blue.
So did I. It's pretty good.
All right.
Worth the risk. You want to do another blue? No.
We eat only the blue. There's a lot of blues in here.
My dentist's gonna be pissed. He's like, "You ate candy on a podcast."
Let me get my my question up here. I had a final good one. Oh, is there a certain? It could either be a show or just something band related that sticks out as like a favorite or a memorable that like above the rest.
Last Friday was good,
Yeah.
but we've played with some cool bands. There was one. It was with pianos at the Auto Bar.
Yeah.
On my birthday, the first show we played after my mom died. And there was a point where we were playing. It was the first venue I ever played at, and my mom was there. And I like looked at Joe at one point, and I was like, eyes full of water, and he was like,
Yeah.
and that was I was just
That's-
like,
that's
but he
much as
knew
you're gonna
too.
get
But that
from- yeah.
but that one was a good
Right.
one.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That it seemed very apropos. Like it seems almost kind of like fate in a weird
That
way.
or we played Relay for Life when we were like 13.
Oh, really?
We lied about our band name to get on, and we were like a heavy metal band. My mom was like, "Don't do this, please don't do this." They put us on last, and it was like sucked, and we were like heavy music, and like she was pissed. And,
Right.
But we played a football field for over 200 people walking for cancer.
Incredible.
Kind of.
Are you ready for our last and final spin?
Let's do it.
I swear the spinner's super bad. You want to do a respin? This is either strawberry smoothie or dead fish.
Yeah, another one.
Okay, we'll do it.
Why did you do this?
It's the berry blue. I think we can't do that one again.
I'm not against it.
You want to do the... All right, here we go. It's the green one. It's either juicy pear or booger.
What's booger? You know.
Yeah. Juicy pear. I only got good ones.
Not juicy pear.
Booger.
Yeah, I'm not eating this.
Put
Why'd you
it
bring
right
me
there.
here to eat this booger candy?
Wow.
Hope
The
you guys
last
are
one that we
happy.
did, we got all bad ones,
Yeah.
and it was like the dead fish one. Like as soon as your teeth crack
into
it, it's just like
We used to buy this joke licorice in high school, and it was like it was like salt licorice, and we'd be like, "You want some candy?" And people would be like, this. And it was
yeah. The
real prankster stuff.
the worst one is the canned dog food. You don't want that one.
No.
That one we would do
color is it?
the dark.
What color
brown.
is it? Ew.
When we were on tour, we would get these at like
How long
the
have you been eating this nasty candy for?
couple of years, not on the regular, but like
you
we
just like it.
we stopped at like a rest stop and we were like looking for something to do, and we got this, and I cracked open the canned dog food, and it smelled so bad it filled up the entire car.
The jelly bean?
The jelly bean, like just from like exiting my mouth.
Now here we are. We didn't learn any lessons.
Right, and here we are, and now I'm trying to force feed them on.
You're just force feeding your friend candy on a Sunday. It's Sunday, guys.
Yeah, the day of the Lord.
A strong start on Sunday.
Yeah, your week's just fucked if you're eating canned dog food at 8 p.m. on a Sunday.
Unless you're a dog.
That's true. Then you're having a pretty...
Then you're just eating dinner.
Yeah, then you're just eating dinner. Or you're the person that weirdly enjoys dog food. You ever seen someone actually eat dog food before?
No, but Rich ate dog food once. And he knows, if he's watching this, he knows what I'm talking about.
My grandma one time ate dog food.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Man.
And she like licked a spoon. It was very strange.
It's funny
Me
that
and
my friend ate dog
like,
food.
That's weird.
How many times has she eaten dog food?
Just the one that we know of, but
that you know
that
of.
Opens up Pandora's box.
Or the one
right?
time she was caught. I hope she's not watching this and doing better stuff.
She honestly may be, in which case I'm sorry, Mama.
You raised a fine boy.
I just doxed you.
Who raised
eating dog food?
I don't know your family tree. Thanks for coming. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah.
Is her birthday on Wednesday? When this is coming out?
Maybe. I think it's in April, but I think it already happened.
It could be April. It could be this Wednesday.
It could be this
on
Wednesday.
the podcast.
All right, happy birthday, Mom. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. My parents texted me the other day and told me they watched my podcast for the first time, which is very strange.
What'd they say?
They said they enjoyed it. They were very impressed. But I'm like one of those people that like gets embarrassed with stuff like that.
Stop,
you know?
I don't care. Yeah.
Mom, Dad, stop.
Mom, stop.
You know what I mean?
Don't watch my podcast.
Right. But they wanted to watch it because, like, you know,
they should listen to ours on Spotify.
Yeah, just, you know, go over there.
Don't let your parents listen to our podcast.
My mom might enjoy it.
I doubt it. Does she like Burn Notice?
No.
Because I hate Burn Notice, and it's like the theme of the podcast. And I've never even seen it.
That's a joke that we used to have. We used to be like, want to get high and watch Burn Notice.
I said it was on TNT too, so I'm a liar out of the gate. I'm like, oh yeah, it's not on
USA.
Yeah, USA.
Yeah, USA. USA's got some weird shows.
Got some bad shows.
Monk, you remember that one?
Yeah, that went for like a while.
I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to watch Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch
this
the last
guy
10
scared of
minutes
germs.
Monk,
like, oh, here's the crime. I'm scared of germs.
Or a lot of SVU.
Watch the guy from Monk is watching, and he's like, hey.
He's like, whoa, I'm leaving it.
Cleaning his house. Oh, no.
Yeah, I watched probably a little bit of the entire series of Monk, like just by trying to wait for Monday Night Raw to come on.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's why I know that Chrisley Knows Best exists. It's because it's just like, I don't watch it, but I know that it's like, I know a solid chunk about the Chrisley family.
You know what comes on a ton before AEW is that movie, The Accountant?
How often?
Like, I've caught the last 15 minutes of The Accountant probably 5 times in the last 3 months. And I've
Contract will
only
run up
ending.
eventually.
And Ready Player One as well.
Really?
I've seen
I'm
a lot
watching
of
it at
Ready
like
Player.
8:02, so I really wouldn't know. I'm always late by like 2 minutes. That's the funny.
See, I'm always like, I line my dinner up with it perfectly, you know?
Yeah, and put your Hunger Man down.
Yeah, or whatever Grace makes, yeah.
Hungry Man. She works at Hungry Man. She comes in like, Kyle, I'm
works
home from the Hungry Man
I
factory.
got the Hungry Man.
I got
went
an
to
extra
Costco.
Salisbury.
I had one of those not too long ago because my grandma got me some.
The Hungry Man.
It was like a Stouffer's brand.
Oh, okay. She didn't think you could handle the
But they
Hungry
had
Man.
like the Salisbury steak one, and dude, it tasted like dog food.
Yeah.
Which makes
You
sense.
hate dog food.
Yeah.
Just came here and maybe nasty candy and bash dog food.
It was bad. I took 2 bites of a Salisbury steak and had to throw it away.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but like, who thought that frozen Salisbury steak was gonna be good?
Did you buy it or did like someone give it to you?
No, my grandma was like, I went to the store and I
You
thought
did say
maybe
that
you would
already,
like
yeah.
these, and I was like, thanks, grandma.
Yeah. She looked at the Hungry Man and he was like, he can't handle that. he can't handle
She like
over a
reached in
pound
and
of
was
food.
like, nah, I can't. I don't think he can handle the Hungry
That's
Man.
I think your grandma says that Kyle can't eat a Hungry Man. It's too big.
Maybe one of the other brothers could handle the Hungry Man. But
I got you a Hungry Man, but you brought a Stouffer's.
he couldn't handle it. He had to get the Stouffer's. Speaking of, this is back a little bit, but speaking of Monday Night Raw, we have our second segment planned.
Let's go.
This is a new one that I thought specifically for you about.
Is it Tajiri related?
It could be. It could definitely be Tajiri related. Tajiri and William Regal. What a great.
Imagine if they would have gave Tajiri NXT, what he could have done.
Remember when he was there on 205 for like a hot minute?
I do. And then he got hurt like immediately.
Yeah, and
I was
then they were like,
Tajiri,
hit the
no.
bricks. Yeah. But it's called From the Top Rope.
Okay.
And it's kind of open-ended. I figured we'd want to talk shop about a little bit of wrestling, so here's our few minutes to do that. Yeah. And this is more of just a preview to when Josh and I officially probably start our wrestling podcast one day.
Or our tag team run.
Yeah, that too.
I asked Joe to be a tag team, and he said no. He won't do it with me. And I was like, dude, let's learn how to take a few bumps, and then
me and you, Joe, we freebird. We go down to MCW.
Six-man tag titles.
Do the 6-man tag titles.
It's a new market.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit earlier, but you're one of the few people that I know that keep up with AEW that I can actually talk to about. Some of my friends are kind of in and out. I usually stream YouTube highlights for them, and then they're like, "That's sick."
Yeah. You sound like a dweeb, and you're like, "Oh, I realize I've been talking too long about wrestling."
Right. And I'm like, I think they need to do this storyline and stuff like that. But
if I worked for him, it would be
it would be sick, dude. I feel like AEW's on a super hot run right now. I feel like they did a good job of doing the pandemic, making it through the pandemic, and now they're just firing on all cylinders.
It's a really convenient time to get a second TV show because they almost have too much talent.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking. I was thinking some of the initial talent, not that I ever want anyone to lose their job, but the second show's good because AEW Dark is 17 matches a week.
I think they need to stop booking the 5-man feuds, the Pinnacle versus that, because it takes up 2 matches a week.
I'm not a fan of the Factory with QT Marshall at all. I think
it's just I cannot care any less. But
they need to be exclusively in AEW Dark. I don't know why they're taking up time.
And AEW Dark is 15 matches a week, so I just don't get why they're
I literally at work will watch the entrances and then just skip through. I'm
it's Brian Cage headlines.
Right. I'm Dark. Powerhouse Hobbs beats a dude in 60 seconds.
Yeah. Do you listen to the podcast?
A little bit. Depends on who the guest is. I just saw Peter Avalon was on, but I'm not
I wouldn't listen to that.
Huge Peter Avalon guy. But I feel like AEW they had a big plans going in before the pandemic, and then I'm sure things got shifted. Remember they were going to do that Blood and Guts match. It was the Inner Circle versus the Elite. I always wonder.
Didn't they do it this year? I thought.
Yeah, they did the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle, but I always wonder what would have happened in that match because it seemed like the Hangman story was starting, but then Cody was still a part of the Elite. I watched this YouTube video that was that's probably the most what if would have happened show that AEW had.
I think even I said with the big group thing, I've been watching. I like the Adam Hangman Page pay off this whole run, but how long have I been watching the Dark Order save Hangman Page?
Right. That's why I feel like he just needs to win it all out. Just give him the moment.
I'm scared their younger guys are going to get buried in this whole process.
Yeah.
Just because now you added you had Christian Cage, some other veterans, maybe CM Punk, Aleister Black, Andrade,
Brian maybe coming too, I feel like AEW's done a good job of having whether it be Dustin or Christian be in the upper card, but I want to see Christian and Kenny for the belt.
I liked Christian and Matt Hardy because that's 20 years later in the making, but
I thought that was cool. That was definitely something, but I think that the way that I see it is Hangman wins at All Out, and then I feel like you have to do MJF after Hangman.
I don't think they're going to do it first. I don't think that's the first title he drops.
The first one?
Once he starts dropping titles, I think the rest will come, but I don't think AEW titles first.
Yeah. I feel I know part of me wants to see Hangman fail the first attempt and then get built back up, but then I don't know. He's just so hot right now.
AEW doesn't change titles enough, I don't think.
Yeah,
and even a lot of their guys have been.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because they've had 4, in the span of 2 years, 4 world champions.
Yeah, right? I'm okay with the Young Bucks holding the titles forever.
The Young Bucks
are
the
best in the world.
I think Proud and Powerful needs to take it from Young Bucks.
They fell in the rankings. You had 2 singles competitors as tag team champions for a while.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep throwing Eddie Kingston with random dudes. I want to see Eddie Kingston Miro for the TNT title.
Eddie Kingston. You have to edit that out. But
no.
Cool. Sorry, allergies. You're going to edit it out?
No, we're keeping it.
Eddie Kingston is coming from really minor league wrestling, and he didn't debut in front of people.
Yeah.
So when he came out with Jon Moxley for the first time,
right?
It was that crowd erupted. You could see him looking around, damn.
Yeah.
I think they need to build him up more with a live audience before he can
really, really get it. I love Miro as the champion of God gimmick. And
I think it's funny because they brought him in and made him a joke, out of the gate, and then he beat the shit out of Darby. He beat the shit out of Darby Allin on.
Yeah. I'm glad that they at first I didn't like the Best Man thing. That
I thought the
arcade.
title should have looked like it was from Bulgaria to begin with.
Yeah, well, I
so.
like how they're changing the title depending on who the person is. I think they should keep
Yeah.
that gimmick.
I like, and also switching the red from like the, it was
Yeah.
fresh enough that you just let,
Right, especially like after Brody died, they like retired the title and stuff like that. Not really much to say on WWE's end besides that it's borderline unwatchable these days.
I was okay with the Bobby Lashley title switch.
Yeah, I
just 'cause
like
he was
Bobby
the
with
third black champion ever. Like, what the hell?
I
man?
loved,
Like,
yeah. Well, first off, that's weird and a tragedy.
Kofi Kingston and The Rock's the other, and The Rock's like Hawaiian.
Right. I like Bobby as champion, and I think like whoever beats him, hopefully it's like Big E or some kind of Keith Lee maybe. Although he just beat
They
Keith Lee
just
on
had him
Monday.
squash
Yeah.
Keith Lee on Monday. They don't respect him.
I think
at all.
whoever beats him, they need to make like a super young baby face out of or something like that. But knowing how it's going to be like Drew McIntyre.
It has to be
or some
someone
shit.
that's like believable to beat him though, because like he's
Right. Well, that's the hard thing.
he's
right?
strong and he's,
You know who it's going to be? It's that man over there. It's going to be Goldberg right there. Not Grace, but above. Yeah.
yeah, he does have a Goldberg autograph.
I do. Yeah.
You like
I'm not
Goldberg?
even a huge Goldberg fan. I just got that at a place in Ocean City.
I never really watched WCW, so I don't really care about Goldberg. Like,
Yeah, I'm not a huge WCW guy. Although I like Sting.
so
I
do
met Sting.
Actually, I hate Sting now because I've paid money to see him twice in person and he didn't show up either time.
Really?
It was at Monday Night Raw. It was the night he crushed the statue, the Seth
Yeah.
Rollins one.
Yeah.
And in Florida, his debut with Darby Allin,
Uh-huh.
he didn't show up and the match was like cinematic while they
Oh,
changed the
right,
ropes. I was like,
yeah.
you fucking red.
I thought maybe they would have it spill into the ring, like the Inner Circle one, but no.
I had hoped, but
Purely
he just doesn't
cinematic.
show up anymore.
Well, we could
He's like
sit
Young
here-
Thug.
We could sit here for hours and maybe coming soon.
I could
a
bash
wrestling
Sting all day.
podcast.
What's up?
Wrestling podcast maybe eventually one day.
I know a wrestling podcast if you want to be on it.
All right, let's do it.
There
might
you go.
see a crossover.
Ooh, TBD.
Yeah. Wrestling related too, but we have one final segment as always. Are you aware of maybe what it is?
No. What is it?
We're gonna tweet a certain person, a certain
Now I know.
superstar. Yeah, it's called a tweet.
Has
the
he
Rock.
responded?
Not yet. And I said if he does, we have to end the podcast.
Okay. That's a deal.
So if you have a good one cooked up, if you look to your right, there's a piece of clothing in a box. If you want to grab that, you're more than welcome to. And that's the the celebratory jersey that we always have. Every guest has put it on except for one.
Why?
It was Lamore, and he said he just didn't feel like he was wearing a hoodie, so it was gonna be like a lot. But
What size is it?
I think it's XL, if I had to guess. I got it off eBay, and it's definitely a reprint. It's not an original, but I'm gonna say that it's an original actually.
If it was an original, you'd have like $400 on your
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't let random people wear it either. But
She's pretty cool.
yeah. So my question to you is, if you could tweet something to The Rock, and we will tweet it, what would that be? I know it's a lot of responsibility.
No, because I feel like the less weird I go, we stand a chance. Are we actually tweeting it?
We're actually tweeting it, yeah. With great power comes great responsibility, like Uncle Ben once said. So think wisely.
I love what you... Is it a question or a statement?
It's whatever you want it to be.
I love what you did with Young Rock! Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
I do love Young Rock. It's actually a great show.
I watched Young Rock. I've
It's
seen worse
great.
TV shows, I'll be honest.
Definitely. I like how they're like alluding to him being president in it or running for president. If you want, we could get
Oh, yeah, it really is just like Rock presidential
it's just-
propaganda.
Yeah, it's totally propaganda. And I mean, I'm going to vote for
He
sure.
should have been president already, but I'll vote again
Yeah,
for him whenever the time
get to
comes.
him, yeah. If you want, we could take a picture to maybe send to him
Definitely.
just to kind of get our message across. We can stay seated if you'd like, just to get the iconic chairs in the frame and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
fine.
I think
we
he's
can
gonna
both
see-
get
yeah,
famous
yeah.
off the tweet.
Oh yeah, thanks for you need the phone.
I think that's the best. You like that, Rock?
I think he's gonna enjoy this.
Can you look at trash?
You put your thumbs up too.
Yeah, thumbs up. Okay.
Look uncomfortable.
Like he's like keeping us hostage. That looks psycho. Well, hopefully The Rock sees it.
Show the fans.
Pretty
Yeah,
psycho.
do that, yeah.
Okay. You want to tweet it from your Twitter? From
No,
mine?
I'm not tweeting it.
All right. Oh, that was my phone. It's okay. I cracked it
It's
yesterday.
a different
Or
phone.
not yesterday, last week.
It's a different phone from.
Yeah.
I'm still not tweeting it just because you threw your phone on the ground.
Okay. I will tweet it, and the tweet will be on the screen, and that's okay. Maybe
I'll retweet you.
I'll get the follow.
There you go.
Follows us. There we go.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I don't think he's gonna like your tweet. So.
Ah, shit. Well, I mean, hopefully he doesn't, because we only are 7 episodes deep, and we need a couple more. So.
Wouldn't that be cool though? You start a new podcast called The Rock.
I would probably frame it. If we don't end it, then who would we go to next? I feel like we got to start tweeting like. I'm thinking
bigger, higher.
No, I feel like we go lower. Like I started tweeting like Steve Blackman or something like that.
The dude from The New Guy.
The dude from
DJ Qual. You never know.
I'm trying to think. We just start tweeting Michael B. Jordan. I don't know why he popped into my head, but
yeah, that's a good one.
Do. Yeah, okay.
Tweet
the Michael B. Jordan.
From The Wire and only The Wire.
Yeah, The Wire and only
Where's
The Wire.
Wallace String?
Yeah, well, this has been great. Thanks for.
It has been great.
For coming on. If
I'm not leaving.
Yeah, no, you're forever the guest now. Episode 8 is just going to be a continuation.
She's like, you best believe you're leaving. It's Sunday.
If you want to go over one more time, we'll have it on the screen and where they can find the bands and find you and stuff like that.
Birthright MD everywhere and Sideshow Cinema and Josh Seleski.
Boom.
Come find me.
Great content.
I don't have 1,000 followers on any, I think. I want to be a thought. Get me 1,000 followers.
Bot accounts and getting those numbers up there. I'll start making them. I'll start making fake Gmail accounts.
You should.
Yeah. As always, you can find all of us on Instagram at 100 Miles Media. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at WoolXGod. I don't have 1,000 followers either. I don't even have 500.
On what? Twitter's my worst.
Any of them. I don't really tweet. I'm not a huge social media guy, but this forces me to, and that's something that I've been having to kind of...
I'm like, if I wouldn't have Facebook if I didn't have a band. I probably would.
Right, yeah. Plus, like, I think my grandma,
who's
a nice
gotten a lot of mentions
on this, would be super bummed if I deleted my Facebook.
You guys still watching?
So. You can just sit here and keep rambling. If
you can leave.
Want.
I got some shit I got to get off my chest.
All right, Josh is going to stay here. All right. See you guys. Let Josh get his last couple of thoughts in.
So I'm going to be real with you guys. They know. No, I'm kidding. I don't care.